everybody, it's Nikki with Live, Laugh, Love Tarot. Today's Friday the 13th. I decided I was going to go live because I can't stand YouTube. It takes forever to get up any video and I don't edit what I do anyway, so why not? I'm off today, so I have some time. This could be a little bit of a long read. I haven't done anything yet except bless my decks. So we're going to start from the very beginning. So if you want to see the process, this is what it is. I did do a little bit of a meditation, especially last night. I had a meditation with sound bowls. I had this wonderful lady. It was amazing. Some crazy stuff happened. Trying to open up my third eye some more. What I got in today's download, it's been nuts. This whole thing about the sheriff and the FBI, whatever. This isn't the traditional missing persons thing, as you know. So if you come on, I'm going to be doing stuff, so I'm not going to be able to really respond to anybody that's saying anything or doing anything. My throat chakra is clearing this morning because apparently what I have to say might be hitting some marks to the collective. So we're going to keep it general today. I'm going to try to keep it light. I'm trying to keep my energy calm. From when I left the sound bowls last night, I felt amazing. I had my salt bath last night, so hopefully I got rid of some pent up energy. So yes, today's Friday the 13th. Typically people think it's a suspicious day, but the reason why people connotate that with a bad thing is because it goes back to Jesus in the Last Supper, and when, Judas came in, he was sorry. I don't hear from my family until I'm online or on the phone or doing something else. Anyway, sorry about that. I don't have many people that call. It's mostly telemarketers or spam anyway. Okay, what I got today is a lot of numerology today, being Friday the 13th. It's Friday, day 13 of Nancy being missing, all of that stuff. I feel today we're on the brink of a breakthrough. That's what life path number 7, when I looked that up, because I don't know all of it off the top of my head. So today's number 7 for a day. So if you were born today, today would be your life path number, would be a 7. That's a breakthrough. So I think we're about to break through to this crazy story that we've been following for 13 days. And then tomorrow is life path number 8. So tomorrow's number is karma and balance. So I think we're about to have a big break in some way in this. And I just thought it'd be just good to see, what the cards have to say today. I know that a lot of you have asked me about my other 2 readings. I personally got a little anxious because I just want to respect people's privacy as much as possible. I did those for myself just to kind of validate what I was hearing and seeing. And I'm going to be honest, I just don't like negativity. I don't want that. I've had a lifetime of negativity already, and I just want to put out positive love and light. That's really what I'm all about. And what Nancy was telling me in the first reading is that she was happy and at peace. This is not a happy situation, but she is at peace. Now, they will find her. I did get a little bit of a download in my meditation last night. I feel like there's running water over her. So it could be she's in a shallow river or something like that, being held down or covered. I could be wrong with that. I hope I am. I don't know. I love when people want me to tell you, where is she? I don't know. If I knew that, I would certainly be collecting the ransom money or the money for the reward. I don't want that. I don't know. I don't live there. It'd be easier to pick up on that because medium, as much as I can have that, I have no control over when that happens. I'm not like other mediums. I can sit down and go, okay, talk to me. Sometimes it happens that way. I just feel the energy and I'm reading who I think it's her. It could be her mother. It could be anybody related to the family that's crossed over. I don't know. She didn't go, I'm Nancy. I'm assuming that it's her. I hope that it's her. I hope she's at peace. Pretty sure she is. I'm not an investigative reporter. I have intelligence. I took 4 years of psychology. I am a behaviorist, so it makes sense, some of this stuff. I use all my tools, like I said. That includes the cards. So let's see what the cards have to say today. I've got the moon deck. Because before I went live, I'm like, you know what? Let's kind of see what the cards have to say about the authority figures in this, which is the sheriff. What the hell's going on here? What's going on behind the scenes? Let's see it. And again, if you're negative, I'm not responding. I'm not getting into the what ifs of this. I just want to focus on what we know and where we're going. So, and with that last night, I couldn't believe it. I was given a rock that says peace. We want peace. We all want peace for everything involved, all of our involvement. I know I've heard Guthrie fatigue. It's about fatigue. We're all tired. We all want the truth, no matter what it is. I think that's where we're at right now. We all want the truth. Just what is the truth? All right, so let's get, this is the Moon Deck Oracle. Let's see what we can get. What's the energy of today, Friday the 13th, from the Moon Deck, please. Hope you're all well. I'm very overwhelmed with, I had a very small following and I was good with that. I'm kind of tipping my toe into the river of this because I get overwhelmed easily being an empath. So I am very blessed and thankful for all of you. I do talk fast. I am sorry. I've been told that my entire life. I have a higher energy level for my age and I've always been fast at everything. Even my mother said, you talk so fast, I don't understand you. Try living in my own body. I know. Good morning. Yes, it's morning here for me. It is 10:47. I guess I should say that because I did a reading yesterday and the last thing I said was that the FBI and the sheriff are kind of at odds, so to speak. And sure enough, as soon as I got it up, about a few hours later, that's what was being reported today. All right, what do we got? It's time to give rather than take. Okay? New moon in Virgo. Okay, I get this. Time to give. We need to start looking at the positives and start focusing on healing. That's another kind of give ourselves. We're all been given our time and attention to this. We need to figure out what's happening. Why is this here? Let's get another one. Time to give. But it's the new moon. I don't know when the new moon is coming in. That could be something. I did kind of get a little vibe last night that she might be found in the dark, like in the under the cover of darkness, or she's in a dark place. Not dark, like spiritually dark place. It's like dark where she is, like under something dark, in something dark. So that could be it. But again, if I knew where she was, I'd be the first one to tell you. I don't know. I do think there's a general area, like I said in my first couple readings. I don't think she's far. I think she's still in Arizona. I know that. I don't think she went to Mexico. I don't think she's out of the state. I do think she's closer than you think. What do we got? Can't read. Communication is key. Bingo. I did get this in the pre-shuffle. Communication is so important with this. We all need to be on the same page of what we're communicating. I get the feeling like we learn something and then we take a step forward and we're like, yeah, and then it's 2 steps back. Forward, back. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Don't let pride get in your way. Now, I do believe this is about Nanos the sheriff, because I do believe when I pre-shuffled, I was asking about him and this came out. He's somebody, he's got the line. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not a Leo himself. He likes himself a lot from kind of what I gathered. He's very, doesn't want to be wrong. That's kind of the vibe I got with this dude. He doesn't want to be wrong. He thinks he knows what he's doing, but I think as we all can see, there's been some mistakes. If you make a mistake, just admit it. It's okay. I do it all the time. Believe in the impossible. Okay. Believe in the impossible. This is the spiritual card, I believe. There is a shift in the spiritual thoughts of things, of how this is going. I think people are about to see that this is a bigger spiritual event that we're looking at. We do have a lot of spiritual things happening in the next couple weeks. All the planets are going to be in alignment. You're going to see some crazy things this year. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting. So let's get some, I like this deck. This is the Journey of Oz Wonderland deck. I have my reasons why I'm using this deck, because it's, I like the Wizard of Oz, and then the Alice in Wonderland, and you can do your own deductions of why I'm using this deck. I do believe there's more going on than just this. I think the person that went into the home thought there was money there, or was under the pretense that this was about money, but I have a feeling it's more than that. And I'm not going to go down any conspiracy holes, but I do believe there's a reason why this is in the news cycle all the time. Look at this, look at this. All right, yep, okay. Mother effer. 3 of Cups again. Please with this card. Something's up with this card. Celebration, I'm going to take that. It's a party. Maybe they're going to find her. I'll take that soon. 3 of Cups, man. Water. I know people want to know where she is. Again, water. Could be somewhere there was water, and now maybe there's not, and it's shallower. Something that water runs over. I don't know Arizona at all. I have no idea what's there. I have no idea what bodies of water are there. I have no clue. And I know, I'm not online looking around. I don't have time to see what everybody else is saying, so I can say the same thing. I have no idea I don't have time for that. I don't even watch the news. I try to avoid the news at all costs. I used to back in the day when I was probably 10 years ago, it would be on the news. I'd turn it on in the morning before I go to work. Now I don't want to hear it because it's an energy sucker. I don't want to be on the news. This is causing anxiety. I don't like the news per se, but we need the news. So I get it. All right, so 3 of Cups, 3 people. 3 people. It could just be, again, the birthday. I don't know. I hope they, again, have you called the FBI? No. Who the hell am I? I can't prove any of this. And I'm sure if I am getting an inkling, they know it. They're on it. They're smarter than me. I'm not intelligent when it comes to this. I let the cards tell me, and then I use my intuition. And sometimes I hear things. Yup. Nope. Oh, boy. Death again with the 3 of Cups. Transformation. Now, normally when I do a reading and I get the death card, don't take that as someone's going to die. No. Death means transformation. So I'm saying that we were asking about the energy of this case. This is going to shift into a new information. Something else is coming out. Breakthrough. Possibly today. More likely tomorrow. Okay. The death card. Scorpio energy. Water. Scorpio's water too. We got a lot of water. I really wish I knew. Okay. Bottom of the deck, I heard. Judgment. Here it comes. We're about to see a judgment. Underneath that, six of Wands. About to have a victory about judgment. Something, we're about to have some information that is going to move this along. Please God, let this be the case. Major Arcanas, judgment and death, and 3 Cups with victory. So yeah, I hope that's the situation. Can I get, let me see if I can see any questions on here. Anybody has subscriber? I'm intuitive. Good. Listen, I love my followers. You guys are smart, man. And when we put all of our heads together, we're going to figure this out. Good morning. I hope to God this has an end very shortly, because I know we are all fatigued with this. I want her found safe. I want an answer regardless. I want to put this behind us so we can move forward in peace and love and start to get the train rolling back of getting everybody on board with spiritual issues. I think that's been missing in a lot of our lives, of what life's about. We need to focus on ourselves. We need to make sure that our own little microcosm of our own worlds is loving and helpful and positive. I think we're all tired of the darkness. I think we've all had enough. All right, any other issues with this? About where we're going? Where is this going now? Can I get a card about where we're going with the shift? What's the breakthrough about? I think we already have that. There's going to be judgment's been called. Judgment's been called. Okay. On the judgment is the 2 of Wands in reverse. Beautiful. There's been 2 of Wands in reverse. Upright, there's 2 ways to go, and I think in reverse we're all now focusing in the same direction. So I'm going to take that as we're all on the yellow brick road. We're all on the road now to getting this coming forward to a resolution. And then we got the Knight of Cups with the hair. Again, more cups. Cups, cups, cups. Teacups. The hair. The March hair. Oh, please don't drag this out to March. Please tell me that isn't what it is. But I believe there is we're about to have tea. We're going to sit down. We're going to figure this out. I think we're all going to get on the same page, because this came out with the 2 of Wands. So that's what I'm going to take that as. I'm an intuitive reader, as well as I try to take the original tarot's interpretation. Each deck is different. You can't pull out, unless you're doing a standard tarot Rider-Waite tarot deck. Each deck has its own interpretations by the artwork on the card. Spirit loves that we can use all these tools, because it helps them get the message to us readers easier with the pictures and the depictions, because it's symbols. It's like a movie that's playing in my head about trying to put it together again. And I tried to explain to everybody about how this is and how the divine universe works. There are reasons why things are playing out the way they are. We're a spiritual soul in a physical existence, learning lessons, good and or bad. There are lessons to be learned no matter where you go. If you take a left, you're going to have lessons over there. If you go over here and take a right, there's going to be lessons over there. Either way, there's no wrong, right or wrong. Okay? Queen of Wands. All right. Queen of Wands in the upright. Fire sign. Queen of Wands. This person, there's a female that's got some information that may come forward with this or be judged by this. Aries is a fire sign. We got Sag, Aries. Queen of Wands is normally Aries energy, but it could be, I don't know. And as far as, I got a question, well, we know whose birthday is Savannah, we know whose birthday is Nancy. We don't know, Ann Tomaso or whatever, but this is a female. We don't know Annie's birthday, it's not public. So I don't know what her sign is. I have no idea. I kind of want to say maybe she's a Cancer because of the way I feel her energy, possibly, but I don't know. Who knows? And they won't tell you, a lot of times, not that she's famous, she's become famous by this, but most famous people won't tell you their birthday. They won't tell you their real birthday. They may have a birthday out there, but you can find out a lot about you or anyone by their time of birth, place of birth. And if you put that into an astrological chart, that's like a blueprint of your life. It tells you your past life information if you're astute enough to research it. It tells you your North Node, which is your lesson in life, your weaknesses, what you need to work on. It's like a blueprint of who you are. So most famous people won't let you do their chart because they don't want you to know. For privacy, I get it. Who is this Queen of Wands? Who's the Queen of Wands? But I just found that interesting that Annie's birthday is in public record. So she could be anything. I don't know. My feeling is that she could be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, since I have so much water here. All right, let's see. Queen of Wands, who is she? What is she? What is this? All right, 2 over here, but oh, there's too many. Take them. All right. All right, we got the 7 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Okay. The Emperor is another Aries card. The Emperor is somebody who thinks they're in charge of this. Aries energy, which Queen of Wands. The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. So when I see this card, I think of the movie The Wizard of Oz. Obviously, when the wizard is behind the curtain, we're about to see behind the curtain about some things. And what that is, they've been Knight of Wands. They've been trying to guard this. They're protecting this. I get the feeling that who's ever responsible, they're trying to protect this person, whoever it is, or at least protect the line that it leads to, the final person that it leads to, who's a mastermind, who's the wizard behind all of this, who's behind all of this. The wizard. The wizard was not the wizard. The all-powerful wizard turned out to be some dude behind a curtain. This came out with the Queen of Wands. Could be a couple. I don't know. More than one. The dude on the camera, I still think this dude behind the camera is being told to do stuff. He's not the one that thought this up, I don't think. 5 of Pentacles, I got this in the pre-shuffle. We got Earth energy here. Money, juggling money, juggling money. Juggling money, trying to hide money, trying to request money, trying to make it about money. Maybe it isn't about money. Maybe that's the illusion that it's about money. And then we got the 5, 6, 7 of Wands. Here's feet dangling down, and here's some wands. This has gotten bigger than it should be. This is blown up. You got little tiny wands hitting. This is the Alice's feet. Alice's feet. Maybe there's some part of body that's sticking out. Maybe that's what's going to be seen. I don't believe she's down deep. May have been moved more than once, but I think it's in something shallow. So that could be it. I don't know. Again, I get a lot of downloads. I'm trying to put it together, and the way my mind works, I get faster instead of just letting it sit sometimes. So I have to sometimes let it sit. There's going to be a lot of dead air. A lot of times I'll be like, it looks ridiculous. So here I am. You're seeing the process. Enjoy. Okay. So we got so far. This is the strongest. First card that came out as a recap. Welcome. Hi, I'm Nikki, if you're just joining. 19 minutes in. See how long this takes? I know. So please be kind in the comments. I'm trying my best. I'm not anybody special. I'm just trying to help. Okay. 3 of Cups. Keeps every stinking reading this has come out. There's something to do with 3, water, and or birthday time, or a get together of a party. A party was had, or a gathering was had where something started. Now, I heard yesterday that the police were going back looking for footage from a month ago from people around the neighborhood. Okay, normally criminals are dumb. They'll case the place. They'll start looking around. I don't know. I don't know where Nancy was on her birthday. I would imagine she's probably with her daughter. That's just educated guess. but something started then, or at least finalized. They may have been planning it up to 3 weeks before, or up to who knows how long before. But on this day, it was like, yep, we're doing it. Let's do it. Okay? The death. That's when the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall that day, for sure. Transformation. This is the Wicked Witch of the West? Yeah, the Wicked Witch of the West, I believe. Yep, sure is. And in this card, if you look real close, she's in water. Okay? If you look here, she's looking up, but there's water bubbles. She's underwater in this picture. Again, what the hell do I know? Okay? Page of Cups, more water. I don't know why this is keep happening. It could just be the sign of water, which is Scorpio, sign of Scorpio, because that's what this is. Pisces, Cancer. Those could be significant. Two of Wands, we got the yellow brick road, and then this taking the road less traveled, which is in the upright. Not taking the road less traveled. There's this, so she might be off of she could be off of a roadside that's just commonly traveled, but nobody's seeing it. Why aren't they seeing it? I don't know. Or this was a commonly traveled road to get to where they put her. I don't know. Again, when it's meant to be, the spirits will let that information come out. It's, again, organically, has to go organically. This is also to expose the process of authorities. It's also to expose the process of how we do things like this in the future, to do a better job of cases like this. There's a lot to be learned from this, from the macro to the micro. That's what I'm getting from this. It's not a good thing, believe me, no. Sometimes the hardest lessons come from the most tragic situations. Judgment. There's been a judgment call, which means I think, not the justice yet, but the judgment. There has been a judgment on this, meaning I think they know more than what they're saying. They're possibly setting things up to be proven later. Because again, you got to remember. Yeah, okay, my nose is itching. Okay, finish that thought I heard. You got to remember, this whole situation was handled crazily. So whoever gets called on the carpet for this, whoever they are, whoever is responsible, they're going to lawyer up and they're going to go to court. And the first thing they're going to say is, Your Honor, guess what? Everybody and their brother was on the doorstep of this place. How do we know this was my client? Or something like plausible deniability. So this was such a mess that unless they find them holding Nancy's body going, look at me, it's going to be tough to prove that this person did it unless they have some kind of evidence on themselves that they can tie to the scene, because everybody's been in and out of both houses. Everybody's been around the crime scene. It's such a mess. So again, I think they have to plan from here on out in a way that they can stick it to the person that actually did this, so it holds in the court of law. That's kind of the vibe I got here. I don't know who, what, or where, but I think that it's been such a Magoo type of, the way it's been going on, like really, it just seems like things are so crazy. I can't. It's almost like, I'll give you an example. When you have kids and they try to pretend like they're playing court, or they're trying to be police themselves, and you're like, that's ridiculous. That's kind of the vibe I keep getting. It's not funny. Please don't take my humor. I just get the visions in my head of what they're showing me. Like, they're showing me something that I was told the other day, and I looked at this person. I'm like, young person. I'm like, what? That's ridiculous. But they don't understand. It's like they don't get it. So the kind of vibe is like the children are running the children are running the zoo. What's that saying? The inmates are running the asylums, kind of like that. What? So we have to go back to the beginning. Again, circling back, which is what I got from the last reading. If this is crazy and you're not following me, I understand. I barely follow myself. So it's nuts. It's nuts. All right, let's see. Trying to see if any questions out there. Let's try to figure out. Let me see what's a good question. I know I don't know exactly where she is. The only thing I can say, I wish I did, believe me, I wish I could capitalize on some money and not ever have to work again. That would be nice, but that's not my life path, unfortunately. I keep thinking that this is going to resolve very shortly. Tomorrow is about karma. Oh, can you hear me now? Ah, sorry about that. Jesus Christ. I get a lot of telemarketer calls today, and I'm doing this on my phone because again, I'm not a technologically savvy person. Can you see me now? Please tell me, can you hear me now? I see me. I see you all here. I didn't want to end the live stream. I'm just not going to answer. I'm just going to let the phone ring next time. I apologize. I got to get one of those spam apps that stops these calls. I don't know. Somebody doesn't want me to get the message out. I forgot even what I was saying. This crap doesn't happen when I record. It's only, maybe they don't want me doing a live. Can you see me? Can I see? Oh, I got to push this up. I don't see it. Looking. Yay. Okay, good. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so let's just quickly recap. I think the judgment's coming. Right, tomorrow is about karma and balance. We're about to balance this out. There's been a judgment on this. I've had enough. Let's get on with this. But I do believe that, again, not everything that is being collected is being reported. Yep, not everything that we don't know. We don't know. I think they might be trying to set the stage for whoever did this to fall into a kind of like a trap. I don't know. I thought just personally, besides this reading, I was like, okay, there were ransom letters. I don't know about you all, but I'm older. I'm in my 50s. Anybody that's ever been kidnapped with a ransom, we've seen the ransom note. Why haven't we seen any of these ransom notes? She's not being returned. They're not paying the money. Where are the notes? Why is TMZ doing this? There's so many questions that I have. I can't get my head around this. Communication is key. Going back to this, communication is key. We need to answer these most important questions. Why aren't they being answered? There's a bigger picture to this, which goes back to my other readings, or my first original reading, which I think this is going to shed the light on a lot of things. It's like a roller coaster that we're on. We're going to be seeing one thing, and then it's going to be another thing, and then another thing, and before you know it, we're going to have the whole picture. But I do believe that, oh yeah, the FBI. I do believe they know what they're doing, and they're not sharing certain things because I think, again, I'm getting undermining. Something is being undermined. So they're not telling us all, not only us, but they're not telling a lot of information because I'm not sure who's on what page. It doesn't seem right. Something's off, okay? Something's off. All right, so let's just ask a question about Mr. Nanos, the sheriff. What is his involvement in this? Let's see what the cards have to say about the sheriff. I don't know. I don't know it. I don't know him. Let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, and they give me a bunch of, hello, if you don't know me before, when I get a bunch of cards, it's usually a story involved with this. So let's see what they say. Oh. All right, the looking glass in reverse, the world. The looking glass means we're ready to show everybody everything. In reverse, some reason why he's not cooperating. I don't know what that is. Why is that? The Knight of Swords for the sheriff. Knight of Swords. In the upright, it's fast movement. We're going to move forward. We're going to get to it. In reverse, we're trying to slow it down. So I don't know why he's doing that. If he's doing that, again, my interpretation, don't know if that's the case, but I'm getting like I see a horse trying to get pulled, and the horse is putting it, like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting with this dude. I don't know anything about him. I think his name is Chris Nanos. I don't know, the sheriff involved. The dude that was at the game the next day that released the scene. I don't know, this dude. Again, why would you release the scene when there's blood on the porch? I'm not a police person, but don't you think that's the most important part of this investigation is that, right? Whether it's put there on purpose or she did drop the blood, I don't know. Why would you like let everybody and their brother deliver a pizza and come on. What? Barney Fife. That's what it feels like. Okay. 10 of Swords in reverse. 10 is completions. Don't want this. Here's the house. And guess what? The Wicked Witch of the East is under this house in this deck. And it's in reverse, which means not that she's under the house. No. And when it comes to the sheriff, 10 of Swords in reverse. We don't want you to look at the house. Do not look at the house. So it's in reverse. Don't want this. Nope. Dragging this out for whatever reason. So the sheriff is something's up with this dude. Queen of Cups in reverse. Queen of Cups in reverse is giving and sharing and loving, and it's in reverse here. It doesn't want to share. Why doesn't he want to share? I was going to do a whole read on the sheriff just because there's sketch with this dude for sure. He's right up in there. He's claiming he's working with the FBI. There's something with this dude. Why is he doing this? Let's get the why. I'm going to have to pull a different deck because we've got a lot of cards down here. So I guess, I'm sorry for the interruption before, but if you're just joining us, welcome. We were looking at just the general vibe of the day. I do believe that today is the breakthrough of something. I do believe tomorrow we're going to get a lot tomorrow. Valentine's Day, I know. Today's the 13th, Friday the 13th. Numerology is important. Astrology is important in all of this. Okay, let's see one more for why is this happening as far as not wanting this to move forward. What's the energy behind him? What's the energy behind him that why he doesn't want this to, is it because he made mistakes or what? What is it that he doesn't want to share with this? Why? Why is the sheriff acting like this? Okay, well that flew right on there. Four of Wands, again, stability, stable. Four of Wands is like a house. Whenever I get the Four of Wands, it's like your home. It's like there's something in the home that he didn't want revealed possibly, or there was a mistake made in the home. No, I know they found the glove in the house. How did you miss that the first go around? Did you miss that on purpose? Or was it put back in there after they released this crime scene? Maybe that's it. They released the crime scene a little too early. That was the biggest blunder I've ever made. And I think he realizes that. So instead of admitting I shouldn't have done that, or maybe it was too premature, but there was now evidence found in there. And why did it just get found? So there's more to that than that. And at the bottom of the deck, the tower. The tower's here. The big tornado in reverse. Tower in reverse. Well, tower in the upright is shocking revelations. You could take it like that. In reverse is hiding shocking revelations. Hiding something in there. Something's in there that's going to break this case. Now, my opinion on this, personally, just myself, don't know nada. If this was a break-in for money and she didn't have it or looking for, you would just knock her off and leave her in the house and run away. So why didn't they do that? My thoughts on it, if they're just trying to drag this story out to deflect from other things possibly, then you would not leave because there's no body, there's no crime. And this would drag out forever until they want it to come out. I don't know. I'm just pontificating. Don't know. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you're having a good day. I'm just got some time today. I'm real busy, and just a side note, I know you all have asked for readings and stuff. I would love to do that, and I don't charge people. If I were to do that, just letting you know that, I would just take donations because I don't feel like this is something I would want to charge people for because I feel weird about that. I try to help people out of my own heart, but at the same time, I also need to, I'd like to get new decks. They're very expensive. Just this deck by itself, this Wizard of Oz Wonderland deck was $85. So it's expensive to do this. I've got 20 decks or more. So I collect them as I go. I've been doing this since I was 18. And it was really, it was a small start. And I didn't really get on my channel for a while. Let's do, you know what I want to do? Let's do an an animal. Let's get some animal intuition on this. I'm being guided to the animal deck all of a sudden. All right. So basically, the bottom line, if you just joined in and missed, we think there's going to be a big breakthrough, some kind of breakthrough today. Something's going to be balanced out tomorrow. It's a life path number 8 in my previous reading. Nancy's life path number is an 8. Today's a 7. We're going from 7 to 8, so we're making movement. This sheriff is going to be involved in this in some way, like he's going to be held on the carpet for mishandling stuff, possibly. Nancy could be somewhere where there's running water. At one point, there had been a running water underground, possibly in Arizona, still very close to the house somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere in Arizona, very close, very close. Again, money seemed to be the motive, but I think there's more than that. That's my personal opinion. I don't know that, but there's going to be victory because judgment is here. I think possibly the FBI is honing in. Now you got to remember, you got to have actual proof. And the way this has been handled, they don't have definitive proof. Even that dude that they picked up, that poor dude, Carlos, I guess. Can you imagine? You're like going about your day. Woo, he didn't even get pulled over. He just got out because he was being followed, he said. And then his mother and all that, I don't know about them. So this dude is probably going to take advantage of the attention to try to, take advantage of that as far as, he goes, because he's just working like anybody else. But I don't know. I mean, maybe, who knows? The FBI is not going to come out and tell you everything because it compromises what they're doing. I get that. So there's more to this. There's again, Don't let pride get in your way. I think the FBI really wants to solve this. And I think, like I said, it's like you clean up something, then here comes like, somebody behind you making a mess. Like, wait, what are you doing? Like, trying to solve this. It's like the vibe I'm getting. Like, we're trying to solve this. What are you doing? That's the vibe I'm getting. Whatever that means, take it as you like. Let's get an animal guide. What's the animals about? Let me get an animal card about this whole situation. I know this is all over the place. I know. That's why I do this, and then off camera, and then I get on and I do my download, and then I run the card again, because this can be a lot of confusion. And if you don't read or don't know the cards, it does seem confusion. Again, I may not be your reader. There's a lot of light, love, and happy, calm readers out there. If that's what you're more into, I'm cool with that. I'm an Aries. I can't do that. Got a lot of earth in my chart, but mostly Aries. I'm an Aries sun. Okay, so we... Not that I don't love orangutans, please. But I get circus. Like, this is like a circus. All right, let's see. Working to live joyously, not living to work. Okay, this is good. This is another clue to us to remember what's important in life. Don't get focused so much on the dramatics of things. Let's look at the lighter. Not that this is a light. This is definitely dark. This is heavy stuff. But if we get roped up into this all the time, this is our lesson for today. Try to see the happiness in your day. Try to look at the glass half full instead of half empty. Those kinds of things. Find the joy even in this. This is humor is a big part of my life. Even though I work in the hospice, even though I was a stand-up comic for a little while there. I know that sounds crazy, but I do trivia. I entertain. This is why I say for entertainment purposes only. That's why I say that. It's not because I'm making jokes or... But if you don't have, even God had a sense of humor, he'd have to, for some of the shit I've seen. You have to have, he can't have, who would want to be depressed their entire life? You got to have some humor. You got to see the humor in things. We are, again, this is one of many lifetimes we're going to have. You got to understand that these are all about lessons. Some of them are dark, some of them are light. It's the orangutan. But when I go back to this, it's like the sheriff. It's like, doo, doo, doo. All right, what do we got today, sheriff? All right. Let's see. Let's get some kipperish. We'll get let's get some guides about, and then I'll probably cut this off because I don't like to go too far, because then I get so many cards and I just get all over the place, and now I just look like a raving lunatic. All right, kipperish. Let's see. Let's get some ideas about the sheriff, because I was just going to do a read about him. But since I can go live, I figured let's just do that and not have to worry about YouTube's 5-hour upload. I've got videos that were 46 minutes that went up in 10 minutes, and I got the 22-minute yesterday. It took 3 hours. So it's like, I just don't know how YouTube works. Sometimes they get it right. Chakras in reverse, yeah. Chakras in reverse. Getting, again, going back to the orangutan, it has to do with ourselves, our staying in the energy of balance. You don't want to be too far right. You don't want to be too far left. You gotta try your best to stay. What is the facts? Stay down the middle when it comes to this. What do we know? Go back to what we know. That's kind of the vibe I just heard. Go back to what you know. So what are the facts in this situation? She is gone. They didn't or did pay their ransom. She hasn't been released. That isn't looking good. She was elderly. She needed meds. She's not close, at least that we can see from all the things that we've been doing, looking around. She's not in that house. She's not over there. She's not over here. So what do we know? We know that we got to go back, go back to the crime where it started, go back to the people that saw her last, go back to what you do know is fact. Work your way out, expand out from there. Again, it's like there's nothing to see here. We shut it down. Nope, there's a lot to see here because she's not here. So they had to go back and open this up again. So what do we know? What else? What should we be focusing on, or what is around this that we haven't seen? Maybe that's a good question. Should we be focusing on? Let's do that. Who should we be going back to talk to again? Health concern. Okay, well, here we go. Health concern. Well, we know who's not well in this. It was concern about her health. That's why they're going back, because I think that's also why they ran into that Carlos's guys, because she could still be alive out there. So because of the health concern, because of we don't know what her state is, this is anxious. This is causing anxiety. That's what we should be focusing on, is our own health. Okay, thank you. I I always do that when I hear it. Our own health, our own health. Please, thank you. The message today, Spirit is telling me, please focus on your own health. If this is causing you to be anxious, if this is turn out, go ground yourself, go outside. If it's warm enough, go get in a spiritual bath. Again, I just heard take care of yourself like you did yesterday. I went out and I took myself out of this for a while, and it was so beneficial. You have to be cognizant of how you are handling things. This is an energy drain. This stuff takes a lot out of us. So, okay. We can't solve this overnight. We can't do everything. We can't help the situation right off the bat as far as if we don't know anything. So don't expend too much energy on it. Yes, get your update, go about your day, figure it out. Unless you have direct knowledge of this, don't let it affect your well-being, because you don't want to go down a road where you're fighting a depression or put yourself in a place where you get sick. Thank you. That's the message with this. As much as this, we all want this answered, and I'm being pulled away to close it over here soon. And I will tell you a couple little things that I think are important. Mostly important is your own health. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. You can be the richest person in the world. Believe me when I tell you, that's the one thing when I talk to my hospice patients, what they will say to me is, I wish I didn't work as much as I did. They're not saying, I wish I worked more. I wish I didn't see my family as much. Your health is all you got, okay? I'd rather be dirt poor and healthy as a horse than have millions of dollars and be 6 feet under. Okay, that's the concern here with the chakras out of balance. Don't let this affect you in a way that you're not enjoying your day or your life, because all you got is right now. Okay, this will be resolved. This has already been decided about who's going down for this, because it's already took place. She will be found. It will be solved. Okay, know that when we get involved in things that are outside of us in a way like this is, because you're being focused on it, your attention is being put on it. I'm guilty too, believe me. I get it. Don't forget what's most important, which is your health, your temple, your body. Take time every day to be grateful. Attitude of gratitude is number one. When you are going about your day. Like my sister and I, when we went last night to this thing, we came out feeling $1 million, and immediately someone almost ran us off the road. It was just somebody either fell asleep or it was like almost hit us, and she got all upset. This is an example of what I mean. We didn't get hurt. It was an accident. It could have been, but it immediately brought us to this again. We don't want to live in that anxiety of stress. Let it go. Stress brings illness. So please, my blessings all to you about that. Will get solved. It is what it is. And she's safe. I keep hearing she's safe. She's in a place where she's good. She's trying to ground in wherever she's at, which is in the hereafter. They're very close to us. If you don't know anything about the spirits and angels, and I'll give you a little nut. If you don't want to hear this, you can tune out. I'm cool with that. But again, I feel an animal crossed her over, whether it was her dog, her daughter's dog, somebody. When there are traumatic, where the soul is ripped from the body quickly, or they're very confused, or it's a child, or it's a suicide, animals will greet you. Not always, but a lot of the times. Animals play roles. They will cross you over, because you're more likely to follow a puppy or a dog or a cat or a bird or whatever you loved in your lifetime. Animals are non-threatening. They're not out to deceive. That's why the spirit says, that's why they do that, because they want you to follow into where you're going next, okay? She has not been found. The energy, again, souls, they want to move on. Once you leave this, I call it purgatory where we're at. Once you leave this planet, you are feeling great. Let me tell you, you drop this physical weight, which is I call it the meat suit, your body. Your spirit is free. It's as easy as walking through a door when you transition. But when you have a traumatic experience like this, sometimes too, just so you know, when there are terrible things that happen, believe me, I want all the missing children found. I agree with you 100%. I would love to find every missing child on earth, every missing trafficked woman on earth. Yes, we should give all that attention, especially to those situations. I'm all for that, 100%. But when a child sometimes experiences a traumatic, horrible death, the spirit will release the soul before the physical body experiences the suffering. That's the grace of God. That happens. I've heard this. So just know, sometimes things have to happen in a way because there is evil just like there is good. You can't have the yin without the yang. If you don't understand the dark, how can you appreciate the light? Simple as that. I know it seems crazy, but that's exactly what it is, okay? She is safe. She's with God. She's with her husband, her family, or everybody over there, and her animals. But that's what I did pick up with Toto, and this deck didn't come out today because I got that message out. That's cool. Whoever it was, she saw the dog. She knew immediately, I'm gone, because it's almost like, okay, I just heard, I got to find it in the deck. But when Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, once again, I use this deck because it's very close to my heart and I can connect with my dead mother, who gives me a lot of help too. I don't hear from her as much. It's hard for me to channel my own family because I emotionally connect with them and want to hear from them. And so a lot of times they don't come through to me because imagine seeing your dead loved one and now you're not going to focus on anything else and now you're back to like the loss again. They don't want us to experience loss over and over. The more energy you're pulling from them, they're being kind of brought down. They don't want to come down here. I wouldn't want to come back either. They have things to do. They've got things to do, as well as protect their family and be like guardian angels, but their jobs, I hate to break it to you. Not that we all hate our job, but work. As soon as the spirit crosses over, there are things to do, even though it's not like this. It's not paying taxes and being angry. All the 7 deadlies go away. You're in a perfect alignment. You're in perfect existence. Everything turns into color. So when I got this message, I saw Dorothy going from black and white to color. That's what the experience of transitioning feels like. You go from black and white to color. It's like seeing a movie from one perspective, and then it's like the director's cut. It's like, that's kind of like I get when you go through your life and you're watching a movie, and then when you cross over, you get the full picture. It's like the panoramic, you see the whole picture. Now you see all the love you gave, you see all the things that you didn't do very well, you feel it, both sides. That's the lesson. My thought, just me, what I say, there is a greater good in the universe and a whole, we're all together in this. You're only as good as your worst enemy, so to speak. That's why they say love your enemies. Love your enemies, forgive your enemies, because we're all here to learn from each other, good, bad, or ugly, okay? But when you cross over, you see things from the perspective of the other that you didn't know, because you don't know what they're thinking at the time. You get tunnel vision. You don't see it. You're only getting 10% of what's being experienced. But then when you cross over, some call it a life review. I personally think we judge ourselves harder than anybody else could be judged. I know I do. Again, when you ever have a child and you say, okay, I caught you stealing or I caught you doing this, what kind of punishment do you think you deserve? That's kind of like the vibe I get. Like, all loving God, Jesus, my Savior, Jesus, they're going to come at you and go, okay, do you see what you did there? You felt that? Okay, what do you think? Do you think you should rectify that? Do you think you should? How do you feel? What do you think you deserve? That's kind of we judge ourselves harder is basically what I'm saying. Harder than anybody else. And a lot of times we'll give ourselves a bigger penance than what somebody else would give us, right? It's hard to say, what that means for whatever it is. But again, this is all lessons. We all go through life to learn, okay? This is the school. And I give this example when I talk to my patients who are struggling, because a lot of patients are struggling, especially my veterans. They have a hard time because they are afraid of what's coming next. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Again, we judge ourselves. So it's very important that we find the peace. And I couldn't believe I got this rock yesterday. To find the peace of the situation when it comes to ourselves, what's outside of ourselves, and find the humanity of forgiveness. Because once you forgive, the weight will come off of the rock and you will feel better. And that's the best lesson that I can say about how I live my life. I try to see the good in everyone. As you can tell by this story, there's not a lot of good in everybody, okay? There's not a lot of good out there. Those people are dark. Those people have dark attachments. Those people are being lied to or confused and they don't understand. There's a lot of things like that too. We can't judge anybody because we're all in a different timeline. We're all on a different path. We're all in different places. Now, I'm not saying that people continually do you wrong. Get rid of those people out of your life, okay? And that includes family. There's no rule that says just because they're family, you gotta, unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance of shit behavior. That's basically that. And no matter who it is. I don't care if you're my kid, my mother, whoever. If you're being treated poorly, there's no reason to stay, get out. Why would you do that to yourself? So that goes back to the concern. and making sure that surround yourself with people that love you, surround yourself with people that care. Don't get sucked up into the drama, because all this will end, and all of this, and then when you cross over, you have the choice too whether or not you want to come back. Reincarnation is another topic that most people don't want to talk about. Again, if your soul is infinite, which it is, and you go on for forever, wouldn't you want to? It's like we're playing dress up from lifetime to lifetime to experience all the good, all the bad. You'll come back rich in one lifetime, you'll come back as a prostitute in another, you'll come back as a whatever. There are experiences to be learned on all sides of all things. So that is the gift that you can, or you can sit wherever in the hereafter and hang out there for eons of time. But souls usually travel in packs. There are lessons to be learned from all people, all things. Anything you come across, there's a lesson. Even the people you just pass on the street and make eye contact with, it's a long story. But there's a lot to be learned about this. People are starting to see what spirituality really means. Religion's another story. I'm not saying religion is, you shouldn't go to church, not that. I'm saying the orthodox religion, meaning the manipulation and the control of do it this way. The Bible is cool. I'm all about all that. But I try to stay down the middle. I'm trying to stay down the middle of what is real and what has been put out there that may not be the facts. You know what I mean? So I think that's enough. I've talked a lot. I do talk a lot. So I love you all. And I'm sure there's a lot of thoughts in there, and I appreciate everything. And I really do hope that they find her soon. I do believe there'll be a break today in this. Oh, Jesus. Now we got the sloth at the bottom of the deck. We have the orangutan and out the sloth. I just said, look at the bottom and you'll get a chuckle. Okay. Consider the smallness of your needs and treasure what, okay. Thank you, Spirit. Again, the sloth. If you've ever seen a sloth, I have. They just kind of sit there and they don't do much. This is doubling down, Spirits, doubling down on what I just said about taking care of yourself. Enjoy the little things, because they are so sometimes a little far and few between. I'm somebody that gets crapped on all at once, and then I'll have a period of good things. So I know before I came into this planet, I probably said, look, I'll do all this, but I want it all at once so I can get it over with, because that's how I do. If it's going to be bad, like give me all the bad news. Let me just get rid of that so I can enjoy the good. Again, so enjoy the little things. Hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Say goodbye. Don't let anger, don't let grudges. This is another thing, grudges. I hear the biggest thing, and I'll leave you on this note. I hear the biggest thing when I go out to my patients and I sit and I listen to what they're mostly regretful for is not mending fences with their loved ones, not seeing them. I've seen so many people like cut people off for the dumbest of arguments. And you're like, really? You're not seeing them for 10 years because you think they took something and they didn't, or something stupid, something dumb. I'm like, really? You just lost 10 years of what could have been a wonderful relationship for something petty. That's what I'm talking about. Forgive, because you're going to miss out on other things if you don't. You're only hurting yourself. Forgiveness and gratitude are the biggest things, and you'll find more. When you give, you receive. You can't, if you hold on to stuff, that's the universe going, oh, you want more of that? Okay, we won't give you that then. The universe doesn't discriminate. It's what you put out, you get back. So enjoy the little things, and I hope you all, beautiful souls, have a wonderful day tomorrow and have a Valentine. And if not, hug your kids, hug your mom, hug your dad. Send out the love and light that this will be figured out. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the party that it is your life. Because find the joy, find the humor in your life, because ultimately that raises your vibration, which means you'll have less sickness. Okay? I haven't been sick in I don't know how long. My whole family was sick, all around me. But I'm trying to explain, they get caught up sometimes in the drama. And I'm like, why are you getting so upset about that? Just be light, be happy. Yes, things happen. Believe me, I've had a year from hell last year. I could have been down in the dumps a lot of times for what I went through. Trying to look at the brighter side, and it's being blessed with good health. That's all you have. Is the most important thing you can have is your health. So if you're not well, I wish you happiness and health, and I will send out good vibes to you. And I appreciate y'all tuning in and your comments. I'll go back and watch this, and then I can read them, and I'll answer if I can. And I do try to answer. Excuse me. I do try to respond to everything. If things are said that are kind of like, I may not respond because I don't want to bring negativity to the channel or anything like that. So please keep it kind. Please keep it positive. I will do my best to give you what I have when I get it. Sometimes, like I said in my last reading, I'll get stuff when I'm doing laundry or driving. I'll hear bing, and then I'm like, ugh, now I got to get back on and say something about this. It's not because I'm inserting myself into something. This is just me trying to help you all understand the bigger picture, understanding the bigger picture in this. We're all learning as we do this, and use your intuition and learn from that. Usually your first thought is the right one. Sometimes we get it wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. We make mistakes. That's when we learn the most, is mistakes. So with that said, I love you all. That was about an hour. I think I've taken enough of your time. Again, I will get back to you. I probably will release the videos today that I have on lock, because I just felt I had a little moment of, well, what if I'm wrong? And I got nervous. So I don't think I am. But again, I don't know the details of the point is that she doesn't want us. Thank you. I will say this. I hear, don't focus on how I died. Don't focus, even though it's awful. We don't know yet. She's not looking at that. She's not looking at how she died, although it sucks. And I do believe it was all too much for her heart. Now, let me tell you, we all die of a heart. Our heart stops. It's just how it is. Our heart stops. That's how we all die. Our heart stops from something. So she had a peaceful crossing. It wasn't like a sexual assault. I don't believe any of that. I don't believe they beat the crap out of her. No, I don't believe so. I believe she just was so scared that I wonder if they didn't know, I don't know. I don't want to get into that. She's like, don't focus on that. She doesn't want to talk about that. She wants to talk about how things are going to go, which is good, which is all going to get resolved. It's all going to come out. There will be justice. That is what we need to focus on ourselves. Not so much on that. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's my little channeled message, because I did get that yesterday. She's like, please stop focusing on how I died or how it happened. They don't want to talk about that, because that's dark. They only want to focus on what's good about it. Again, none of this shit matters when you cross over. They don't petty the 7 deadlies, who did what, who got what, and why my house went to that person. No, they don't care. They don't care about any of that crap. They only care about how it's affecting us on the physical, and they understand that we are in a physical body experiencing this. I get it. They don't give a shit about who got what. They don't care. All they care about is moving to their next destination, or trying to do what they need to do in their next existence, or where they're going. So just know that she's okay. Don't focus on the how. Let's focus on moving forward in our own love and light, and our own health, and our own, hugging our own kids. Okay? So I hope that helps, and I will definitely pop in, and good luck to you all, and we'll see you at the next 24 hours. I do believe there will be a break very shortly. There's going to be some kind of balancing out maybe tomorrow. I don't know what that means, but I do believe we're very, 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 very close in finding her. So I will probably do another reading. I got some things happening this weekend. I try to put this aside on the weekend and focus on my family. So if I don't come in, it's not because I'm not doing anything. It's because I'm in the hells of motherhood, and I am, dealing with teenagers. So I love you all. We'll talk to you again very soon. I love you. Take care.